Hey, welcome to the Educated Affiliate. My name is Damo, and we're back for our Cliqly Revenue Weekly video. We're going to talk about a couple things, retargeting, and just the sort of transition between the expense of our business, which went drastically from a larger expense for list building to absolutely nothing. And thank God Cliqly credits are still cheap too. But anyways, let's get into the numbers real quick. So for my week, this week would be, what would it be? The 20 week would be, let's see here, from the 2nd, no, excuse me, from the 26th. All right. So 586, but it's really 680 because this is the 7th day here, which was yesterday, $94. So it's about 680. I think 680 and 70 is what I got. Let's see. Yeah, 680 and 70. So that's where I'm at for this week. Right around the same, about $98 a day, $72 a day profit. So, you know, it's nice. I'm green. I'm making profit. So the difference between this figure here, this is the figure between what is recorded for the month and what is what I paid for in expenses, credits, whatever. As opposed to, so if you go here, you can see that I made 3053, right? Total. If you go here, it's 3053. That's what I made for the month. This figure here, excuse me, shows a little bit different. It shows 3447, but that's because that's what I got paid this month, meaning this check came in this month, but it was from some revenues from the prior month. So that's how I do the difference between that. So anyways, let's talk about a couple of things about retargeting. So retargeting, as you know, Cliqly explained it, that basically a pixel gets set on a person's computer once they've clicked on a link of yours, and then you start seeing ads all over the place. Now, generally speaking, I haven't done a lot of retargeting, but generally speaking, the initial ad spend is a lot more expensive than the retargeting ad spend because the retargeting ad spend is a lot more targeted. And you're able to get a lot more out of it, more efficient. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is it's really cheap. I mean, $97 a month is nothing. I can't imagine it's going to be yielding great returns if it's that cheap. If it was going to be returning hundreds of dollars, Cliqly would have made it a lot more expensive. That's number one. Number two, $5 3-day trial is useless. Retargeting takes time. So you got to click, and then they got to see a bunch of ads, and then you got to click again. I mean, the first click, the second click, third click, fourth click, whatever, is highly unlikely in the first 3 days. And then number three, there's no you can't monitor the tracking. So you have no idea if you are getting a boost in your income. Of course, you can tell. For me, I could tell pretty quick if I'm making $110 all of a sudden, and you know that's most likely from the retargeting. But you can't tell because there's no tracking, and I don't know. Supposedly there's going to be, but I don't know if there is. Right now there isn't. So what I don't understand is it's expensive. I mean, $97 worth of retracking is not going to get you much. Especially like me, I send out 4 million emails a day, 100 for list building, and I mean 1 million for list building and 3 million for Cliqly Pro. So all those clicks, I get about 1,000 clicks there. I get like 6,000 because, right, 6,000 opens at least. So I don't know how many clicks because that's how many I'm getting on my list every day. That's going to be a lot of retargeting. It just seems a lot more expensive than $97. So I don't know how that's working. Again, I made when things started going downhill, I made a condition that I wasn't going to do any of the ancillary stuff until things started changing around and making things better. So anyways, I hate to harp on this, but I just want to go back to, you know, back in February is when the Gmail thing hit, supposedly. March was my most disastrous month. April is when I picked it back up because I started paying for the 10-cent click, which I thought I bought in 2-3 years ago, but now I'm paying for it again. I know I mention it every time, but it just really sticks in my craw that I'm paying for that. Again, offset, the credits are expensive. I mean, are really, really cheap. But what I want to talk about here is actually real quick, let's bring this in. I'm at 141,000. Okay, so it took me about 2 years, 8 months to get to this point. When we first started, I've been mailing for 1,020 days. When we first started, Cliqly list building was the most expensive thing you could buy into. Okay, and now I'm getting about 6,000 openers a day, which means I could get to 3 million in about 1.4 years. So it's cut in half, basically. The cost of list building is absolutely nothing. What does that tell me? I don't know what it tells me. It's all speculation. But it would seem to me that those types of leads are much more generic. They're much larger in a pool of leads that aren't all that great. You know, I mean, again, speculation. But here we are, you know, months later from this mess where everything died. The next month, paying in the 10-cent click because the CPAs weren't working that great after the Gmail thing. It went right back up. Stayed up for a while, stayed up. It started coming down, and now it's come down to absolutely nothing. Now we are absolutely 6 months removed from the Gmail thing, and it's been an absolute disaster as far as it's all coming down. I don't understand why that is the case. So anyways, all this is speculation. I'm not going to get into the retargeting right now. If anybody has good experience with retargeting, let me know. If it starts to work, it starts to make a difference, I'll jump in. But just like MIP, you know, I make about $3 a day on MIP on 300,000. I'm not going to waste time doing it. You know, and look, if things stay the way they do in terms of the cost of the credits and the profit that I'm making, it's a good deal for me. You know, and I'm gonna stick around and do it. But there's one thing I want to show you, and that is, let's get into the commissions. This is an interesting thing that I want to take a look at. This was the video that was made when they had us, you know, pushing the affiliate program. 131 to 243 days a day. Now, when people get into this thing, they see this video, they get into this thing, they think that's what they're shooting for. Right there, right? And always these things are overhyped and overpromised and they don't come through. Well, I'm here to tell you, I've spent 3 years in this thing because I believed in where it could go, you know, and it did go there, right? So I'm making $346 a day, $274. I mean, I'm killing it, especially look at this, $400, $500 a day. This is ridiculous, and this was all CPAs. CPAs couldn't make you a dime today, as far as I've seen. I don't even want to try because I make such a small margin. I'm not even willing to test it. So 3 years, tens of thousands of dollars, never missing a day, and I'm down to $94 a day, or $98 a day, $72 a day net. That is a long way from here, 131 to 243. Hopefully it gets back to that. If it doesn't, it stays right where it is. You know, I'm very profitable, as you can see. But for those of you that have, you know, I'm on level 15. I have 3 million subscribers. You know, so I have sort of the wherewithal to withstand this blow, in a sense. You know, still very profitable for me, and that's fine. It only takes me 45 minutes to an hour a day. And now I'm going to try out this new automatic thing from our buddy Ed, and that may be even easier. So, you know, at this point, I'm profitable, I'm good, I'm getting paid, everything's fine. But where is this thing going? I don't know. You know, I just don't know. I don't think anybody knows. But anyways, that's the revenue for today. Hopefully things get better. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or email me at demo@theeducatedaffiliate.com. And we'll talk to you then.